And welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to talk about the good, the bad, the properties, and all we have to know about Italy. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to investigate and to talk about the house market in this town called Latiano. So Latiano, we are in Brindisi province, Apulia region. So lately, I'm investigating a lot in this Apulian province, which is called Brindisi, because I find that a very interesting province and very interesting area where hypothetically buy a property. So let's start our video, but before we start our video, please put like and subscribe to my channel. It takes 2 seconds and it doesn't cost anything. Like this, you're helping my channel to grow. And second, I've opened a Facebook group where I'm sharing my videos, I'm sharing posts, I'm sharing pictures, and I'm also sharing other YouTubers' video. Let's say everything is related with Italy, houses for sale, but I would also like you, that you are joining the group, anyway, to share your thoughts, to share your opinion, and so you are welcome to join the group on Facebook. Don't be shy, even to post something if you're curious, and also to let the subscribers be in touch together. Simply in case someone can share their goals and their opinions, and they can help each other. All right, so let's start the video and let's start from Google Maps. So here I am and I'm showing you this town called Latiano. So let's zoom in. As you can see, here we are. Now I'm gonna zoom out again 1 second just to give you an idea. So it's very close to Mesagne. So it's in between Francavilla Fontana and Mesagne. So let's zoom in. Now, what can we say about Latiano? Mainly, let's talk about the inhabitants. So we are talking about a council, an Italian council of 13,345 inhabitants. So we are under the 20,000, which allow you to go under the 7% taxation rate. And so now let's zoom in. Let's put the 3D version just to show you the town itself. So we are talking about 13,000 inhabitants. It means that you might find already all the services that you might be looking for in a town when buying a property or when relocating. Now here, let me show you now how far is from Brindisi and from Bari. So mainly from the two nearest airports. So let's see. Okay, Latiano, Brindisi. Actually, from Brindisi to Latiano, Brindisi to Latiano, just to understand how far we are from Brindisi. So we are talking about 30 minutes driving and then transportation. So we also have the train. So there is train transportation plus also buses. Let's see here. Anyway, here they're mainly showing the trains, and so it says 55 minutes by train. So let's say 1 hour by train, and then let's see from Bari. So from Bari, which is another nearest airport. Anyway, from Bari, obviously the distance is longer. We are talking about by car 1 hour and a half, or by public transports. Let me see, by public transports. So trains again, it says around 2 hours or 2 hours and 55 minutes. So it depends, but anyway, It's still a kind of affordable distance. Obviously, we go from Bari to Brindisi and then from Brindisi to Latiano. All right, so now let's leave Google Maps for now. I will go back at the very end to show you the main square. Now here I'm on Wikipedia. Nothing here, there's not much to say apart to repeat that is a council of 13,310 inhabitants. Again, so we are under the 20,000 inhabitants. And then here we can see roughly the temperatures, the average temperatures during the year. So we can see anyway that the summer is very hot. We have the average, the maximum average temperature, the minimum average temperature, and the rain per millimeters, the falls of rain. So we see that it's not raining that much during the summer, but then you have, anyway, wintry months, which is raining. All right, so now we can go to Real Advisor, simply to understand the house price market per square meter. So let's investigate where Latiano municipality is. So here it is. So it's a green light. Now we know by the color here that in red are the most expensive per square meter. Then we have this orange, pink orange, which is a bit cheaper than the red one. Then we have yellow. Then we have light green, and then we go for darker greener and darker green. So we have these dark green, and then obviously we have these one that are even cheaper, the prices per square meter. Let's say that Latiano has all the area, Oria, Latiano, and Mesagne are a bit cheaper comparing to other municipalities like Francavilla Fontana, Ceglie Messapica, San Vito dei Normanni, Brindisi, Ostuni, and so on. All right, so let's go on Latiano. So here, if we have a look at the average price per square meter, we see that apartments are around there's an average price per square meter of 597 euro per square meter. If we are talking about apartments. If we are talking about houses, we see that the price increases. We are talking about 984 euro per square meter, with a minimum that goes from 315 euro per square meter up to 4,525 euro per square meter. But let's say that the average of all the properties for sale in this municipality, the average per square meter is 984 euro. Okay, so now finally we can move on Idealista. Okay, now here I have already searched, but let's do it again. 1 second. Okay, let me put English language. Then 1 second, because my microphone fell. All right. So Latiano. Let me see. Okay, so here we are in Latiano. Property for sale, 185 properties for sale and flats, houses and flats. But now we are going to do our research. We are doing a selection. So I'm selecting only houses. I skip the apartments. And then we go for a minimum price. Actually, I'm not selecting any minimum price, but I select a maximum price of 100,000 euros. And then we select a minimum size, which is 100 square meters. Now, I want to see quickly conversion square meters. 2 feet. Let's see. Okay, now a house of 100 square meters. We are talking about 1076 feet. Now, correct me if it's wrong because I'm not familiar with this conversion. Anyway, so 1100 square meters. That's what we are talking about. Now, let me go back here on the properties. All right, minimum size 100 square meters, maximum price 100,000. Then let's avoid the auctions. I see plenty of advertisements with the auctions, but I would not recommend simply because it's a bit more complicated. It's a bit complicated anyway to purchase a property by auction. All right, so now last thing, select by the lowest price and let's see what we have on the market. So I see that we have 27 houses for sale in Latiano under 100,000 euro. So the first one, detached house in Via Caduti d'Africa. So 3 rooms. I see, anyway, I see, anyway, it's not a bad house. Obviously, it's in need of renovation. Should be investigated a bit more. But anyway, this is simply to have an idea. So here we have a detached house in Contrada Pozzello, 40,000 euro, 100 square meters. Okay, because it's Contrada, it is an independent house with garden, villa in the countryside to be restored. Interesting. Located from Pozzello in the Latiano, with land of 8 acres in the rear part where there are fruit trees. Anyway, this is a house that is in need of renovation. We have star vaulted ceiling, but I'd say that the price is extremely good. Anyway, we are talking only about 40,000 euro. Then again, this is a personal thing if we go for renovation or not, but the price 40,000 euro for a big project, it's possible to make a lovely villa. Now, detached house in via Colonnello Montanaro 5 Latiano. Let's have a look to this house. This is an interesting house. I would enter. I'm gonna enter into this ad. I would just focus mainly on the pictures. I won't read the description because, okay, I see quickly that there's no heating system. It says that the house is in good condition, but anyway, we are talking about 110 square meters. Let's have a look at the pictures quickly. Okay, so this is the view from the balcony. All right, here we have the house is not in a bad condition. I see, okay, I see the stairs. Obviously, there is old furniture, a bathroom that is in need of renovation. I see it's a bit old. This is the kitchen with fireplace. Say the good thing of this house is that not everything is in need of renovation. Not everything. There are some parts of the house that maybe might not need, but here, for example, I would focus on a lovely bathroom to renovate electrical implant. So here we have a bedroom, interesting doors. I see the vaulted ceilings. It's an interesting property, this one. A lovely bedroom. For example, here I don't see massive works in this room, and I see a beautiful star vaulted ceiling. Frames are quite good. Anyway, obviously the house it needs a bit of renovation, but I see also quite spacious house. I see now many rooms. I didn't investigate a lot. I see a terrace. No, this is a small balcony, but there is an outdoor tap. This is a small balcony. Okay, then we have another bathroom. There are two bathrooms. Now, this house, it's interesting. Now, I go back 49,000 euro. Let me see how much is the price per square meter, just to have an idea. Do they say here the price? So the price per square meter of this house is 441, while Realadvisor shows an average of 984. So that we are even less than half of the average of the municipality of Latiano. For a house that it looks quite spacious. Now, I didn't see if it has a terrace, I guess. On the upper floor, there is a large double bedroom with a balcony overlooking the main street, a further bedroom, a bathroom, and a small courtyard. So it's an interesting property, this one. Okay, let's go back to the other properties. I want to have a look to as many properties as possible. So from 49,000 euro, we go up straight away. We go up to 59,000 euro. This detached house for sale in Latiano is located in the heart of the town in a walking distance of all amenities, currently vacant. Okay, let's have a quick look at the pictures. Okay, here it is in need of massive renovation works. I see that there is also an issue with the ceiling because they have all these what you call it anyway, kind of pillars to keep. So I would stay. I'm not saying I would stay away. Maybe it's a beautiful property, spacious, with high potential. But again, a renovation project is a must here, in particular because all the rooms seems like have a problem with have a problem. So I'd say there is a renovation project. The house is not bad. It depends how much the renovation project would cost. Now, here we have another house for 60,000 euro, 8 rooms, 180 square meters, which is quite big. Latiano, historic center, on 3 levels with 3 independent entrances. Let's have a quick look at the picture. So here we have the main church, Latiano main church. Wow, beautiful vaulted ceiling. Let me enter into this ad. I want to see the pictures. All right, so enlarge photo. Okay, so it says on 3 floors, which I see from this picture, just one. It says that has 3 separate entrances. Now could be 21, 23, and 25 civic numbers, we call it. We call this number in vendesi intero stabile, so they are selling all the building. So from outdoor, I have to say that it's not in a very bad condition. Okay, so the main church. Okay, now let's have a look at these beautiful star vaulted ceilings, which are okay. They need to be redecorated, let's say, but it's possible to keep the beauty of these vaulted ceilings. Wow, even with paintings, I mean, with frescoes. That I think that's called frescoes in English. Now, obviously, it needs renovation, needs to be repainted, but it's possible to keep this beautiful style. All right, so here we are back in one of the rooms that we saw before. I want to go back again to understand. Okay, this is a room, this is another room, has a different fresco. Okay, because also this one is a different fresco with these typical towers that you find on the beaches here in Apulia region. 1949. It seems that was painted in 1949. Lovely. Okay, the house is in need of renovation, but it would be nice to keep, for example, the style of this. Like I would try to keep the floor to save all the floors. And anyway, it's possible to make a lovely project here. I see radiators. I see an outdoor area, uh, which with some stairs leading probably to the roof, to the terrace. Okay, here I don't understand if we are still on the ground floor or on the first floor, but I still see radiators, floors. I see a quite spacious apartment from here, star vaulted ceilings, which are quite interesting. Lovely bedroom with lovely floor. The floor is particular. I'd say nothing special, but nowadays to try to save this type of floor is it makes the property stylish. Now here we have. It's an interesting property. Now I'm not going deep that much into the floor map of the house. Here we have a little outdoor space that is leading probably to the terrace. Here we have a bathroom, a bit oldish, but was renovated in a very good standard 30, 40 years ago. Obviously, today might need a better renovation project, but it's an interesting house. I like the outdoor area, the facade. I like it. I like this type of iron cast balcony, these bricks. Anyway, it is a house that has also a tiny, not a tiny, but has also a kind of historical value. All right, so let me see just briefly possibility of creating two housing units, good internal condition, ready for occupancy. Mm, I don't know. Entrance hall, so on three levels with three independent entrances. Entrance hall, living room, kitchen, seven bedrooms with fresco star vaulted ceiling, storeroom, bathroom, courtyard and terrace, radiator, heating system, and air conditioning system. It's an interesting property. For the price they're selling, 60,000 euro for 180 square meters. It's a very, very interesting property. Then, what else we have here? Villa in its raw state, surrounded by greenery. Internally, there is the possibility, so it's a renovation project, not really a beautiful villa, let's say, from outside. It's not nothing really special. So I think this is the same. Looks very similar. Yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. 67,000 euro. Okay, we have another renovation project. Okay, let's see. Let's enter into this ad because I like the way they're showing how hypothetically the rooms could turn on. Now, here we have again, so we know it's a renovation project. We know the house is not in a very good condition. Let's see how hypothetically this room could turn on too. All right, here it is, the same room. So here we have the kitchen. I would make the kitchen like this. Let me go back. Interesting. Anyway, we have another room here. Interesting. Nice. Let me go back to compare. Okay, here we have a window. Here there is an outdoor space. All right. Here we have another room, beautiful floor, and here they put a new floor. I would try to keep the old one. Anyway, they make another lovely bedroom, another bedroom. Let me go back 1 second. Okay, this is another room. I like this type of windows. Obviously, it's a renovation project. Might not be extremely expensive, this renovation project. It's about replastering and repainting properly. Okay, depend electrical implant, heating system, and so on. But it's an interesting space. Here they made another bedroom. Okay, then we have stairs leading probably to the terrace. That's how they imagine the terrace after renovation. This is the outdoor area. Interesting. Here I could see even a small swimming pool, a kind of jacuzzi, an outdoor jacuzzi. Anyway, this is an interesting property simply because so they wanted 67,000. They want 67,000 euro, but it's a renovation project. Then let's see for 68,900 here. I see already a house in a better condition. I don't see star vaulted ceilings. I'm not gonna enter here into this property, but I see radiators, frames, floor is not the most beautiful floor. 4 rooms, 105 square meters. The bathroom is not in a very bad condition. Then we have a small room. We have a little outdoor area. Now this house looks like had been looked after a bit better comparing to other one. Anyway, there is a lovely spacious sidewalk in front of the house. Latiano, we offer for sale a detached house requiring renovation with a free solar area. Okay, anyway, let's go to the following one. Trullo in Latiano. Okay, we are not here for Trulli mainly. That's for people who would like to go for this type of property. I'm not that much into Trulli. Anyway, let's see, for example, this one, detached house in Via Guglielmo Oberdan. So 79,000, and they were asking 98,000 euro. So did they drop 98, 88, 78? They're dropping 19,000 euro. So 19%. Parking included. 5 rooms, 215 square meters. In Latiano, we offer for sale an independent solution, 500 meters from the city center. The property for a total of about, let's have a quick look. Okay, here, let's enter because I see lovely pictures. Okay, let's go full screen. Okay, obviously there are always little works to do. Anyway, this looks also like a garage. The the exterior part, the outdoor area, looks like it is in need of a bit of restoration, but the internal part, I see it quite in order. Okay, old furniture, but lovely. This area is lovely with this decoration, ceiling decoration. I like with these columns here. I see they put efforts, not efforts, but when they renovate this house, let's say 40 years ago, they try to make it with the style back in the days. It's beautiful. I like. Now, apart the furniture, uh, but there is a piano. This is a musician. Okay, we have a kitchen, let's say dining room, and then we have a separate kitchen. I see a spacious house. I see the floor is not it's not in a the floor is not in a bad condition. We still have the dining area. Here we have the kitchen, which is a bit small, but also the chance to dine. Then here we have a little courtyard, a little backyard, very small, but still, anyway, it's nicer to have a bigger one. But so here we see a master bedroom. Apart the furniture, I see that the property itself is not in a bad condition. So I see radiators, the all-star radiators, which are better for me than the new one. Here I see a small bedroom. All right. Someone who likes the doors, the band. Anyway, here we have another bedroom. Okay, here we have the bathroom. Bathroom is again the style of the 80s. We are fully into the 80s style. So I'd say the bathroom might be in need of a good renovation. Even if my bathroom, I have two bathrooms in the house where I live. One is more recent, was made 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, is more modern. But the bathroom that I have downstairs has the same standards, has the same type of tiles, same type of sink. I prefer this type of radiators. Obviously, I see here the frames needs to be changed. Here there is another small bathroom. And this is the garage, which we saw before from the outdoor area. Okay, then here we have this roof, which I don't understand much. All right, anyway, so the terrace where I would nicely put solar panels. Anyway, this is another interesting house for 79,000. It needs anyway some renovations as well, this house. Let's see what else they have for 79. Three rooms, 120 square meters. Okay, let's enter into this property. Also because, okay, here we have a quite big, spacious living room with dining table, balconies, good floor, freshly painted, frames and doors maybe needs to or to restore or to replace. So then I see the bathroom here. This is the dining room with kitchen. I like this type of doors. I would try to save these doors. To be honest, I don't dislike it. I didn't see the radiators. All right, here we have an outdoor area. I don't know if probably this is a ground floor, and then we have spiral staircase leading to the terrace. Here we have another spacious room, which I think is the bedroom. Okay, wait a second. I see these doors are not very old. Maybe anyway. There is also I see also some renovations things here to do, but again, bathroom again renovated maybe in the 90s, early 90s. I see. So the radiators there are radiators into the house. This is the kitchen. Let's say cucinino. We call kitchenette cucinino. We have another space here that I haven't seen before. Access to the outdoor area. So I see quite spacious house, quite interesting. Here, this is the bathroom that we saw before. The stairs. Okay, this is the bedroom that I think we saw before. This room already. This is another room. This is an interesting house. I see many rooms, quite spacious. Okay, here the radiator is not on the wall, so there are some works to do. Okay, here again the bathroom. Quite spacious. The bathroom is quite spacious. So here they're showing a kind of floor map. All right, let's have a look. Where is the entrance of the house? I'm trying to understand. Kitchen, hall, kitchenette. All right, bedroom, living room, kitchen. I cannot see where the entrance door is, unless it's from the living room. Could be. So we have a daytime area, and then we have. So I see only one bathroom here. Anyway, I saw many pictures. I see maybe, let's see just 1 second. Maybe we offer for sale an independent house of the first floor. So probably it's the ground floor is another property. The house consists of a large living room with a balcony. It continues with a habitable kitchen with a fireplace and the presence of a garden. So it has to be as well ground floor. Anyway, not very clear. Obviously, the bedrooms are two, a double and a small. The bathroom is windowed with a bathtub. Come and visit. All right. Anyway, I'll go back. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Okay, they all need a kind of project behind something to do. So they all need to be upgraded anyway, these houses, but they can all be an interesting project. Let's say up to now, I think the best one for me, I go back 1 second, was this one for 49,000 euro. I think if I have to go. Anyway, this is the house where I see less works to do, but they're all interesting. Obviously, the cheaper is the house, the more money I can spend for the renovation. Then 80,000. Let's have a look. Here there are 48 pictures. For sale, independent corner house, very bright, 180 square meters on the first floor. So I don't think it's a ground floor. There is only the first floor. But the house is spacious, bright, one bathroom. All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna go deep. I see lovely floors anyway. 180 square meters, 7 rooms. They are dropping the price. I think they might even drop a bit more in the future. So 83,000. Here we have a countryside house with trullo. I want to see a bit the conditions inside. This is, I guess, I guess this is the trullo. And this is the part of the house, but again, also this one needs renovations. So basically, we notice that under 100,000 euro, all the houses that we see for sale are in need of some works. Now, 83,000 euro. Now, lovely outdoor area, nice kitchen, nice bedroom, another bedroom. outdoor area. So now not many pictures. House for sale in Latiano. The property is entirely on one floor, the ground floor, making it convenient and functional. So 83,105. Um, all right, then Villa in Contrada Specchia. Let's have a look 1 second to this one. So we see again also here the same type of renovation. All these houses, maybe not massive project. Anyway, this is a villa. You also have an outdoor area, a lovely garden, 3 kilometers from Latiano. Okay, then 87,000, a house that 188 square meters, 5 rooms, quite so parking included. I see, for example, these I even see less works comparing to the other one. Here I'd say just go for modern furniture. I will keep this. It is one bathroom or two. I think there are two bathrooms. Doesn't look like it's the same bathroom. Yeah, there are two different bathrooms. Stairs, garage, terrace, outdoor space. Interesting property. Then 90,000 detached house in Via Caduti, star vaulted ceiling, and trying to understand mainly the amount of renovation works. But I have to say now, I'm gonna have a quick look to what's left. I have to say that for less than 100,000 euro, these are all beautiful houses, and the location is quite nice. I'd say it's very nice anyway. Now let's go back on Google Maps. So I want to avoid. All right, let's go to Latiano. So they said, but I just want to understand again by car how far it is from. Let's see. Let's see some Torre Rossa, Serranova, Specchiola, Torre Santa Sabina. How far is from the sea? I'd say we might be around 30 minutes. Let's see. 1 second. Latiano. Let's see. Posticeddu. Posticeddu, which is this location on the sea, just to understand how far. Okay, there's no public transport. By car, 24 minutes, which is not a lot anyway. In 20-25 minutes, I mean, I'd say it's quite close to the sea. And it's also better uh, to have a house. If you want to live all the year around, I'd rather live in one of these towns, not on the sea. Mesagne, Latiano, San Vito dei Normanni, also because all the locations on the sea during the winter are they shut down. Apart, you are living in Brindisi, but Brindisi anyway. We are talking about a town, a city. All right, now let me go back here on Latiano just to have a quick look before I close the video to understand the central area. Now I'm trying to figure out where the historical part of the town is. Now let's see, I see this square. I guess let's go on 3D. Yeah, let's have a look to this square, which it looks like is one of the main square. So here we see the decorations typical of festive days. Lovely fountain in the middle. So here there is a church. This is the council palace, the council building. Lovely and cozy square with garden, with bar, sorry. Okay, let's have a look. It looks like, I mean, I never heard that much about Latiano. I think it's a town that deserves to be discovered because it's a tiny, let's say it's less popular maybe than other towns, but it has a good potential also this town. Now I'm trying to understand so where we are leading. Okay, now for example, all right, I see here the main church that they were showing before. I see some houses nearly abandoned, like no, I'm not saying all the properties. Obviously, if we go on the place, we might find more properties for sale than are listed on Idealista or on casa.it, and obviously even cheaper maybe. Look at this beautiful house. I like this type of balcony windows. I like it, with a beautiful terrace with plants. Anyway, it's a lovely building. Okay, we are in the historical part anyway of Latiano. Let's have let's go on this square. Palazzo storico, piano terra e piano primo, 24 rooms. You see, this is what you don't see on Idealista, but now I want to try to see understand a bit more about that property. Now here, because it's a pedestrian area, not easy. Anyway, here it's not easy, but look, it's an old building with these columns on the facade. Interesting, interesting. This could become a huge B&B, but I believe after a big investment, also because my part of historical heritage, so you might be forced to renovate, not really as you want, but I would keep the external area as it is. Perfect. All right, my friends, I think this was a quite long video. I tried to show you as many properties as possible here in Latiano, Brindisi province, under 100,000 euro. Here, that's where I saw one of the houses they were showing. You can see some old buildings quite abandoned. Here we have a museum. Anyway, another building here mostly abandoned. These towns, what is gonna be the future of these towns? Another building like this. It seems like many buildings are in need of renovation, even if they're built. But again, even if they're lovely, but they are in need of renovation. All right, my friends. I think it was enough a long video enough. And so I'll see you here on Italy a Place to Love YouTube channel to my following video. Bye.